Hello, boys and girls. How are you doing today? Okay, first of all, I'm super duper excited. LaQuette, I don't know if you know, but I am fangirling, and we had one of those moments today where nothing was gonna keep us apart from doing this live. Okay, we had to change the time for 8:30, but thank you for you guys hanging out with me and author LaQuette, guys, and of course we get to talk about her latest release, Vanessa Jarrett's Got a Man. And look, we're gonna have to talk about that title too, because even that title, okay. But guys, if you're just joining us, this is LaQuette's latest release, boys and girls. LaQuette, they are coming in, giving us some love, girl. They was waiting for us. They was waiting for us. But can you introduce yourself to the people?
Hi, I'm LaQuette. My latest release is Vanessa Jarrett's Got a Man, and it's a rom-com featuring people of color in their 40s, just having, living
Yes.
their best lives.
I love that. I
Hey,
love that,
Caitlin.
boys and girls. And thank you guys so much. I see you guys
Hi,
chiming in
Veronica.
for hanging with us as well. We had to move the time for 8:30, but guess what? Here we are, boys and girls. And so, LaQuette, my friend. So, first of all, before we talk about this title, okay, let's talk about this super hot cover, okay? My friend, when you did the cover reveal, me and some more of my book nerdican friends, we almost lost our minds. Okay, this
Well,
cover is
that
gorgeous, all capital letters.
it is gorgeous, and I had absolutely nothing to do with it. I mean, my editor, Monique Patterson, is like, okay, we want to do an illustrated cover for the rom-com. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't like illustrated covers.
Uh-huh.
She's like, well, what don't you like about them? And what I generally don't like about illustrated covers is some of the covers I've seen, like the people don't really have features. They
Okay.
they just look like, ink blobs on the on the image. And so, hi Jennifer. And like representation is extremely important. Hey Shay.
Hey,
Um
Shay.
you in a
Shay in
few
the
weeks,
house.
girl, I'll be there. And I just representation is so important for me, and I really want my characters to look like what I write about. So
Yeah.
I was really apprehensive about it, and she says, "No." Monique says, "No, no, it's gonna be fine. I promise. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine." So they reached out to an artist. I believe the artist's name, and if I'm butchering your name, Bo, please know it's take it. So don't charge it to my heart. It's my bad
Right.
tongue and my retainers. um, oh, Bo Fang Lin, I think that's his name, Bo Lin Fang, I think maybe. But Bo is amazing. Bo did covers for Alexis Daria's Power Primas of Power series, and
Oh,
those covers are breathtaking.
yes.
And
Yes.
so the only thing Bo asked for was like pixpiration for what the characters look like.
Okay.
And I sent a picture of Gabrielle Union
Mm.
and Daniel Henney.
Okay.
And the original sketch didn't even have color in it. Like it was just a loose sketch. And
Right.
I was in love. Like I would have been happy just putting that on the cover because it was no
Oh.
color, just like that's how amazing it was.
Oh, it was like that.
Bo is so skilled, like just a raw drawing. I was like, yeah, let's slap that on the book. It's gorgeous. And Bo went back in, and once the color was added and all of the fine touches that Bo added, and it was just like it's an amazing cover. It's a work of art. It's not really a
It
cover.
is. It
It's
really
really more like
is.
a
Oh my
painting.
goodness.
It's really
Yeah.
more like a painting. And I think it really does a good job of not only not only selling the book, but it does a good job of not just representation of the character makeup, but it also gives a good job of the sensuality level in the book.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's a spicy book,
Uh-huh.
and I think if you look at that cover, you could tell, okay, there's gonna be some spice in this book.
Uh-huh. Oh my God. I totally agree. And even the rich colors, it's bright, it's
And mind you,
vibrant.
I don't
And
like
okay,
orange
LaQuette, I mean,
Orange
Just the
ain't my
way they,
color.
they facing each other and
Orange is not even my color, and orange and pink ombre is something you would never see me choose, right? But even the color scheme, like everything was perfect for the cover. So I really cannot wait to see what Bo comes up with for book 2, because it
I
is like
know.
I just sent in the pictures for book 2, the pixpiration for book 2. So
Oh, so exciting.
I am very excited to see what Bo's coming up with.
Well, us book nerdigans, we are definitely waiting for the cover reveal for that one too. And this one, you said something when you was talking about the orange. It's almost like, yeah, you have to pronounce that orange, that orange. Yeah, that's how you say it, orange.
It's true. It's not regular orange. It's really
not regular orange.
I agree with
I
you.
love it. I love it. Now, let's talk a little bit about Vanessa Jarrett's Got a Man. This title. Tell us what inspired this title. Did you have anything to do with this title too, or they gave you several and this one was
title?
It?
I actually did. It was my idea, and I didn't want to do the title because I'm really bad at titles. Like I am really bad at titles. Hey Tiff, I'm gonna spill it all. Hey Tiff. Hey Miss Benita, Miss Tony, Benita, and who else do I see in there? Midnight Ace, thank you for dropping in. My editor was like, okay, you got title Rex. And I'm like, well, dang, no, I thought I was going to do that. She was like, no, what do you want to call the book? So the whole time while I was writing the book, when I was building Michael's character, I really wanted him to be a character that was literally a safe space for Vanessa to fall. And after knowing everything that her character had been through in the past, I wanted to make sure that I was giving her a hero who was really going to give her everything she needed. And the only thing that kept repeating in my head was the 1990s jam, Shantae's Got a Man.
Yes.
And how, she named all the qualities of this man and how he treats her in that song. And I was just like, yes, that's the kind of man I need to build for Vanessa.
Right,
so that's how it became Vanessa's Got a Man.
Well, wow. So get that hot title as well as this amazing cover, boys and girls. If you are just joining us, I am hanging out with the one and only LaQuette. Guys, we are talking about this hot and spicy, okay? Her latest release, Vanessa Jarrett's Got a Man. Now, please tell us. Now, you did spill a little bit of tea, guys. If you don't know, it is going to be a series. There's another book coming after this one as well.
Working on that right now.
What inspired this story in itself?
Well, I love rom-coms, right? So if you follow me on social media, you'll always see me talking about like getting ready for the holiday movie season that's filled with a lot of like rom-coms, right? And although over the last couple of years we've been getting more diversity in those films, we haven't really focused on like women who are in their 40s and women of color being, centered in these stories. And so I wanted to write my agent and I were talking about what kinds of books we were going to pitch next, what was working in what was working in the market, what they were looking for. And she mentioned rom-coms and I was like, hey, I'd love to do a rom-com, but I don't want to write about, 20-year-olds. I want to write about women my age who are in their 40s. I'm not divorced, but I do have friends who are divorced. And I wanted to write about like our sister girl group of how like we all sort of come together and love on each other when we need to. So I felt like someone like Vanessa, who had been through some really trying things in her life prior to the book starting.
Yeah.
I wanted her to have a phenomenal girl group, like a waiting to exhale sort of situation. Where these women come together and really just create their own support group to get them to the next phases of their lives.
Yes, yes. And Jennifer says she's 50 and she enjoys stories that features us. So yes.
Jennifer, check your mail. I just sent you something like yesterday.
I love it. Book mail. Okay, so LaQuette, let's talk about when you think about this particular story and this series or what have you. What came first? Okay, was it these amazing characters or was it the plot?
I'm not really a plot person.
Okay.
I'm really not. So it probably was like the characters. Like
Okay.
I knew I wanted to build a character who had been through a really rough spot and wasn't necessarily looking for love, but you know, when she found it, she would understand that this was a good situation for herself. And
Mm-hmm.
the plot came about really because I thought it would be hilarious that just as someone, because that's how life works. Just when you have decided you are done with something, you are
Yeah.
over it, and you are moving on to the next thing, here comes life to say, yeah, about that. All right. So, like, I just tell myself I have bought my last designer bag, and then Coach will have a sale. And I'm like, that's too good of a sale. I can't like
Right.
pass that up. I gotta go back. So I lied to myself, but whatever. And that's sort of where Vanessa is. She has told herself she's not moping over her divorce anymore. She's ready to move into the next phase of her life. She's done with everything that had to do with her divorce and her ex-husband. And then here come this fine behind man on her
Girl.
doorstep, dragging her into some mess where his sister is engaged to her ex-husband, and the sister is wearing her actual engagement ring. Like the ex-husband stole the engagement ring. And so I felt like, and these people were all connected to her friends in the town that the friends lived in. And I thought, this
Right.
is this just is a recipe for a hot mess. Like this has got to turn into a hot mess. Yeah, let's do this. This has got to be fun. So that's how that all came about.
Well, LaQuette, let me just say, with the spiciness, I was like, okay, LaQuette, look at her being messy in the prologue and in the first chapter. I was like, okay, that's how she gonna do it. She just gonna hit us with a headliner, like right at the beginning, And we
I'm not an insta love writer, but I'm an insta lust writer. Like I
okay.
I do believe that we are physically attracted to people just upon sight.
Yes.
And I think people, especially in romance, they try to pretend that that's not the case. Oh, they didn't know each other long enough to really be into each other. And I'm like, listen, if Roman Reigns were to crook his finger at me and say, baby, come on, I wouldn't ask no kind of questions. I don't care anything about his personality. I don't care. That's some stuff I might have to learn later, but he's fine. And I like the
Right.
way he looks. I'm shallow enough to admit that
Right.
if that fine man ever calls my name,
Especially remember, like when right at the beginning, they're on the way to the restaurant, and she kind of like trips, and it was just like it was on. Both of them was just like, ooh, okay.
Exactly.
They were like checking each other, like, oh, okay.
Because you do, like, you might not be obvious with it, but you give people looks. You're like, okay, I see.
Okay. Well, I love it. It was just amazing. Like I said, and the meet cute for me, for both of them, was just like, oh my goodness, yeah. And you know me, I love a good, romance, but I love a good meet cute as well. And so I want to ask you a little bit about, I know you told us that the title was kind of inspired by Shantae's Got a Man, or what have you, but is there a playlist? Can you tell us a little bit about a playlist for this? Are there any other songs? You know we love a good playlist.
Shantae's Got a Man was definitely on rotation. Sometimes I get a song stuck in my head and I can listen to that single song on repeat throughout the entire duration of
Oh, wow. Okay.
If it's powerful enough. And that song definitely was powerful enough because I definitely wanted Michael to sort of reflect. Like I wanted Michael to be the kind of man that she could brag about like that. Because that's what Shantae's doing. She's telling her girlfriends, listen, y'all men might be trash, but let me tell you about mine. And I've had those conversations before where I've been with girlfriends who haven't necessarily had the best of luck in relationships, and they make the generalization that all men are trash, and I'm like, wait. Okay, I understand what you're going through because I've been there, girl. I've been there.
Yes.
But let's not drag all men into this because not all men are into this, So I
Absolutely.
wanted her to have that kind of a man, especially after dealing with her ex, who was just straight garbage.
Yes.
I wanted her to have someone that really was just all into her from day one.
I love that. I love that. Well, boys and girls, if you are joining us here at the cafe, we are hanging out with LaQuette. And of course, we're talking about her latest release, Vanessa Jarrett's Got a Man, boys and girls. Oh my goodness. If you have not read this book yet, if you have not gotten your hands on it, let me just tell you what you're waiting for. Okay. Go
Exactly,
ahead and
Shay,
get you a
exactly.
copy of this amazing read. Of course, we will let you know at the end of the broadcast of how you can get your hands on a copy of Vanessa Jarrett's Got a Man, as well as any of the other books by the amazing LaQuette too. And you guys know how we do it here. If you have a question for author LaQuette, put it in the comment section. We'll be sure to include you as well. So I want to get into these characters just a little bit, LaQuette, and then I know you're going to read like a short snippet enough to wet the people's whistle or what have you. But let's talk about the sheriff a little bit. We already know, guys, he fine. Okay, let me just tell you that Shay, baby, where you at, girl? Let me tell you, the sheriff. Okay? What can you tell us about him? If you had to describe him in 3 words or more, if you need to add a few more words in there, how would you describe him?
Michael is, I mean, he's one of these people who really believes he's been raised to take care of the people he loves. Like
Yeah.
he is Korean American, and Korean culture is very patriarchal, and it's, as the firstborn child and the first son, a lot of responsibility would have been placed on his shoulders in terms of what his position in the family was, like
Mhm.
what his job basically was to do, and that he would have been groomed to take care of his younger siblings and family that came. And so he he lost his parents 10 years prior to where the book starts. And in that time, he had a teenage sister at the time his
Mhm.
parents died. So he becomes basically her guardian at that time. And it really sort of stunts his development a little bit, because
Mhm.
he goes from being like a 30-year old man who is, living his best single life in Philadelphia, to now basically becoming a father to a teenager, and having
Right.
to uproot his entire life and change, everything in his life to take care of his sister. And it's sort of
Mhm.
because of the way his parents died and some of the circumstances surrounding their deaths, he takes on a lot of guilt, and sort of
Yeah.
that heritage that they gave him, that guilt sort of taints it just a little bit. And he goes from becoming this really protective, this man who's been taught to take care of his family, to
Yeah.
someone who's an overbearing protector. And so
Mhm.
everyone who he loves, it's almost like he tries to manage them, because in order
Yeah.
to keep them safe and protect them. And so the fact that he's so protective was something that I thought would really work well with Vanessa's character, because she
Yeah.
needed that, but only to a certain degree. And
Right.
and he has to learn what that degree is, like what that
Yeah.
boundary is that he shouldn't cross. So he's a really good man. He's a fun-loving man. He has great friends. Um,
Yes.
doesn't take himself too seriously,
Yeah.
and he when he can, he likes to have fun, but he also has a really deep-seated sense of integrity. And
Yeah.
and that's really what I wanted to shine through about him.
Nice, nice. Look, Shay said I put it up a few minutes ago. She was saying that you could really describe. There it is. She said, LaQuette can surely describe a man. My Lord.
Well, thank you.
I love that. I love that. Boys and girls, if you are hanging out with us on tonight, we are hanging out with author LaQuette. Guys, her latest release, Vanessa Jarrett's Got a Man. Okay. And so we talked a little bit about Sheriff Michael. What can you tell us about Vanessa? Because even in the prologue, you know, but y'all, Vanessa, she's kind of, she done went through it. Okay, this ex-husband of hers, the Lord have mercy. Okay,
Vanessa's gone through it. She has an ex-husband who was emotionally abusive to her. And they were together for 20 years. Like she married him maybe like her junior year in college.
Yeah.
And so she was just sort of like learning who she was as an adult when she married him.
Mm-hmm.
And so that allowed him to sort of shape her into what he thought she should be.
Yeah.
And she, you know, unfortunately, she doesn't recognize the signs of what he's actually doing until it's too late. And she's just, and it takes her 20 years to finally get to the point where she can fight for herself again and extricate herself from the situation safely. And when she does, she's fortunate enough to find a lawyer who tells her, listen, I know you're raw right now, and I know you don't have the sense to fight right now because of everything you're feeling, and you're so shell-shocked from everything that you've gone through, but I'm gonna fight for you.
Yes.
And her
fight
lawyer,
for her, she did.
and her lawyer takes this man for everything he's got.
Yes. Okay.
And Vanessa wins basically it all. And now she's got this fat bank account, but can't really figure out what her next step in life is. So she travels the world. She decides she might want to go back to school and take some like continuing ed classes because she's a trained accountant.
Right.
You know, she's doing all of these things to try to sort of fill that gap, but she still hasn't found anything that really fits her. And it's not until she goes to this little tiny small town where her girlfriends live that she really like finds the thing that she's been missing all this time.
Yes. And when we talk about the characters in this particular book, and of course on both sides, Sheriff Michael's friends as well as Vanessa, they got some pretty cool friends. Okay, hilarious. Can you tell us, when you think about the characters of this particular story or what have you, which one was like the most interesting or fun to write? And then was there a character, and it doesn't necessarily have to be Vanessa, it may be, but was there also a character that at moments you had to kind of like pause and take a moment for those characters?
I think Janae and Adam are those characters. They're two sides of the same coin, really, and they function very similarly in Vanessa and Michael's lives, respectively. But Janae really is like an attention grabber. Like you notice Janae on the page, like you can't miss her. And so I had to do a lot of work to sort of try to temper her so she didn't overtake Vanessa as the protagonist. So I think she's the one I had to do the most work with to sort of like, you know, calm her down just a bit so she's more supportive and not the center of the story.
Gotcha. And you did a great job with that. Yeah, those characters, they did not overpower the hero and the heroine in this particular story. Boys and girls, if you're just joining us, I am hanging out with author LaQuette, guys. This is her latest release, Vanessa Jarrett's Got a Man. Of course, if you have a question or a comment for LaQuette, put it in the comment section and we will be sure to include you. And LaQuette, Jennifer had a great question. She wanted to know, with this particular story, did you have a lot of creative leeway with writing this book? Great question,
I have a lot of creative leeway with all of my books. I don't, I write what I write. My editors their job is to help me tweak it just enough to make it accessible for readers. But generally, when I write a story, what you get in the final copy is pretty much, if you compare the first drafts, there may be tweaks to it, but the story is essentially the same.
Wow, I love that. And LaQuette, are you ready to give us a little snippet of Vanessa Jarrett's Got a Man?
Sure.
Look, just a little bit to wet the people's whistles, and then leave them hanging. Okay, leave them with a cliffhanger.
My grandmother, God rest her soul, said a little taste to make you mad, so I'm gonna make y'all mad for a little bit. So this scene takes place after they've spent all day kind of getting to know each other, flirting and hanging out. she gets stuck in his town and ends up having to stay in his guest room. And so they've been hanging out most of the
Because
day.
we already know there's not a lot of hotel options.
Well, the book is about a small town, so set a small town, so they don't have a lot of hotel
No.
options. But anyway, this scene takes place after they have spent the day hanging out and flirting all day long. Like there's been this sizzle between them all day. And they come back to Michael's house and they are just gonna have like takeout on the couch and watch TV. And this, this is what happens after Netflix, basically.
Okay.
So we're moving from the Netflix to the chill part.
Okay.
So the credits of the movie on his big screen rolled, signaling the end of a perfect day. You want to watch something else, or are you ready to go to sleep? Michael stretched as he waited for Vanessa to reply. When she didn't answer, Michael turned to find her tucked into the corner, hugging one of his sofa pillows under her head, fast asleep. He shut off the TV, then thought about what his next move was. He could grab a throw blanket from the secret compartment inside the nearby ottoman, or, and this was a big or, he could carry her upstairs so she wouldn't wake up achy from sleeping on the couch. It was fine for sitting and watching a couple of movies on, even for a brief cat nap. Getting a full night's sleep on that thing was terrible on your back, though. He leaned down, brushing a lock of hair from her face, enamored by the intoxicating peace he saw there. Alumadon, he whispered, the Korean endearment as he continued to stare at her, relishing the unobstructed view of her beauty before scooping her up in his arms. He made sure he had a secure grip on her, then took a step. Vanessa stirred in her sleep, snuggling closer to him than their position already allowed. The feel of her pressed against him did little for the hard-on he'd been fighting all night. He made it up the stairs and into her bedroom without her moving, grateful for the small favor, because if she pressed herself against him like that again, all bets were off. He was about to place her on the bed when she stirred and tightened her arms around his neck, moaning his name in a soft, sexy way that almost broke his resolve. Vanessa. His voice was stern, and the sound of her name across his lips hovered somewhere between anger and need. Vanessa, I need to put you down. He felt her tense in his arms, waking and lifting her head to look up at him. There was confusion at first. Then shortly, something raw and fierce flashed across her gaze. If you keep moving against me like that, this might turn into something altogether different than me tucking you safely in bed. She stared at him, her gaze intense and certain. And what if I want it to turn into something more than you're referring to? Something more that you're referring to. He glanced down at her, noticing her protruding nipples through the thin satin material of her top. He forced his eyes back to her face, needing to make sure her mind wanted what her body was preparing for. All you have to do is speak the word. They both remained quiet, visibly considering his words, his body hot and every nerve he possessed sparking with this unexplained chemistry the two of them shared. Do you want to have sex with me, Vanessa? She nodded, and he shook his head, closing his eyes. I need your words. Do you want me to strip you of this material I've been dying to peel off you and take my time paying homage to every inch of your body with mine? And her response, yes, I do.
Woo, child, let me tell you, hot tamale train. Look, I'm just a happy place. She said grown folk conversation.
It is.
Woo. Look, and then we had some yums and some old yummies and all the good stuff. Boys and girls, let me tell you, if you have not got your hands on a copy of Vanessa Jarrett's Got a Man, let me tell you, go ahead and get you a copy, okay? We will definitely be sharing with you where you can get a copy of this amazing read as well. Because she just gave us, she just gave us a little snippet, okay? That was a little snippet of grown folks conversation as well. So, LaQuette, of course, we got to play a round of this or that, my friend, but it's no right or wrong answer because it's all things according to you. Are you ready, my friend?
Sure.
All right, here we go. Small town or big city?
I kind of like them both. I'm from Brooklyn, which is a big city, but in the last 6 years, I've spent and the last 6 years I've spent in the Pocono Mountains. And so that's kind of what inspired this book to be set in the Poconos. It was
Oh,
basically culture shock from moving from Brooklyn to the Poconos. And so Vanessa sort of represents my culture shock. A lot of the questions she asked about the atmosphere and the environment were questions I had when I moved here. Like, why are there no lights on the streets? Like,
right.
who decided lit, roadways and safety guardrails were luxuries? Like, why don't we have those? I don't understand that. Coming from a place like New York where you have light all the time. So
All the time.
it was a little bit of me exercising my demons about having moved from a big city to a small town. So they each have their benefits, and I like them both.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes,
Look, and
very
Tiffany
deep,
said big
man.
change from Brooklyn to the Poconos. Yes, yes. All right, my friend. Are you a morning person or a night owl? What say you?
I would like to be a night owl, but I have to write at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Um, and because that's really the only time I can write without my kids interrupting or without life interrupting. So as much as I would like to hang out all night, I have to get into bed by a decent time, or I am not human in the morning when I get up at 5.
Gotcha, gotcha. Look, let's take it to tropes a little bit. Friends to lovers or secret baby?
Secret baby, hands down. Like the more drama, the better. I have never met in a book, rather, I should say. I have never met drama that I didn't love. Like
Oh, oh.
so I
Look,
love
bring
drama
on
in
the
a book.
messy. Bring on the messy,
Yes,
right?
in a book, not in real life. In real life, I like it real quiet and boring. That's what I like in real life. But in my books, I like it messy. And so I definitely would take the secret baby
Nice.
over the
Okay,
friends to
okay.
lovers.
Look, enemies to lovers or siblings best friend?
Enemies to lovers, they fight more. I like
I
that
love
fight.
it. I love it. Oh my
That's
goodness.
the drama.
Now, LaQuette, we about to go on a trip. Where are we going? Are we taking a plane ride or are we going on a road trip? What we gonna do?
So I don't like road trips. If I got to drive more than 4 hours, I'm getting on a plane. That's just my rule. So I don't drive to DC. I'll get on a plane for 2 hours. Go
Okay.
to DC or 45 minutes from New York. Um, I hate travel. I love to go places, but I hate the process of travel.
Okay.
So I need to get it over as quickly as possible, which means whatever the quickest conveyance is, that's how I'm going.
Nice. Okay. Okay. Now, we're talking on the phone or are we doing a text message? So phone call or text message?
Talking, I have bad thumbs and I have like carpal tunnel in
Bad
my left
thumbs,
wrist. So
LaQuette.
I do. I have bad thumbs because I used to type on my phone, like type books on my phone.
Oh.
And doing that so much, like it really, really aggravated my wrist. So I have like
Oh
all ergonomic stuff now, ergonomic keyboard, ergonomic chair, all
no.
that
Right.
to protect my assets.
Absolutely. We got to protect those assets for these your assets for these amazing books that you're providing us as well. All right. Now, are you more of an audiobook or a podcast?
So here's the thing.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Like I have not really been into the whole audiobook phase,
Okay.
but I've slowly been listening to some.
Okay.
So I the first set of audiobooks I really got to listen to were my own. So the
Oh,
Devereaux Inc series, I was fortunate enough to have the wonderful Carrie, excuse me, I am butchering this woman's name. And just like that, her name just sort of fell out of my head. She played Shantae on The Cosby Show and Different World. Karen, I think her name is
oh wow.
Karen Molina White, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
And she did such a fabulous job on the Devereaux series. And of course, I was fangirling because I was a fan of Shantae, right? So it was like a thrill for me to get the opportunity to listen to it, and it was a really great way for me to like pass time while I was driving. So like when I
Okay.
took a trip somewhere, I would throw it on and listen to it. And I did the same with Vanessa Jarrett, and it really is an experience because it it allows you to experience the book in a different way, I think.
Yeah.
And it's something I'm slowly sort of like getting into. I'm not into every book in, I think it has a lot to do with the narrator also, whether I like it or not.
Okay.
So I had the misfortune of listening to one recently, and it was just like the narrator just took me out of it. Like I couldn't listen anymore. I was just like, this is not a voice that I find pleasant.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Um, so I still think, like, I'm a digital reader. I read on my Kindle, on my phone, stuff like my iPad. And so I'm still a digital reader. Like that's
Okay.
really the vehicle by which I read the most. But I
Mhm.
think audiobooks are slowly creeping up on me.
Okay. And of course, LaQuette, we have to ask this one at the cafe. Okay. Are
Mhm.
you team tea, team coffee, team something stronger? What say you?
Coffee. Uh, My kids know, like, if I walk around the house in the morning and I'm yelling and screaming and grumpy, my baby son and he's almost 10. My almost 10-year-old will look at me and go, "Mommy, did you have your coffee this morning?" Like, the babies know that don't talk to her before she has a cup because, uh, they understand they're playing with their lives
Oh, oh,
when they do that.
so guys, look, send LaQuette some, send her the Starbucks gift cards, send her coffee, all that. Okay, send it to her. Okay, we
Dunkin'
gotta protect
Donuts,
these
I love
babies.
a good pumpkin spice. That's
And
it.
look, I know you got some coffee lovers in the comment section as well. Thank you so much for playing this or that with us here on the cafe. And guys, of course, there is a giveaway. I'm going to allow LaQuette to tell us where her lovely giveaway on tonight is going to be.
So, because I'm getting into audiobooks, I want you to get into audiobooks too. So, I have an audiobook code for Vanessa Jarrett's Got a Man to give away.
Boys and girls, and there you have it. There is an audiobook code for Vanessa
Caitlin,
Jarrett's Got a Man. So you
Caitlin
get to hear, boys and girls, all this goodness. Okay. I love it. I love it.
don't
And
listen
the
to
way
it at work, and don't listen to it when people can hear it. Like it's not safe for work. It is not. Don't do it to yourself. Don't say I didn't warn you. I'm just saying. I don't want you
okay.
to
So
put this
guys,
one
it
up the
comes
job
with
and
a
then blame
disclaimer.
me later.
Okay.
Because you
So
got into
it's
it.
hot and spicy if it comes with a disclaimer from the author, okay? So don't be listening to it at work, and don't be, make sure you and your ears only, unless it's another book nerd again, make sure you're in a safe place, okay? I love that. I
Unless you're
love
fine
that.
with explaining that to your boss, but I just wouldn't want to. So I'm just telling you, make sure you got your AirPods or your headphones with you.
I love it because, boys and girls, it's grown folks conversation, as Tiffany or somebody said in the comment section. Okay, I love it. I love it. Look, Midnight Ace book. She said absolutely, and be careful about your car with guests.
Yeah, that's another one. I would not have like the sisters from the church in the car when you're listening to this, because they might have something to tell your pastor afterwards. You might want to like
So we don't add another one too, guys. So if you listen in the car, or if you listen, with it on speaker, just be cautious of
be
who's
mindful of
around
who's
you. Okay?
around you.
I love that. I love that. Well, how are we going to do
It
this,
is
boys and
perfect for
girls?
a train ride. Get your earphones in, and I'm a New Yorker, so I would ride with earphones in, even if I wasn't like listening to anything, just so people wouldn't talk to me. So that's a New
Yes,
York thing. If you're a New Yorker, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, to put it in your ears and listen to it on your way to work. On your way
I
to on the
love it.
train. Yes,
Well,
yes, yes.
LaQuette, how we're gonna do is I'm gonna go up and down the comment section, my friend. You're gonna tell me when to stop, and that person will be the winner of an audiobook version of Vanessa Jarrett's Got a Man. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, as soon as you tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay. Look, and she likes audiobooks. So Ruby Deborah Page, you get the code for a audiobook version of Vanessa Jarrett's Got a Man. Boys and
Yeah,
girls,
Ruby.
our time goes by so fast. LaQuette, the doors of the cafe is always open for you, my friend. You have to come
Well,
back
actually, I'm
and
coming
hang
back
out with
next
us.
week. I think, aren't I? Yeah, I'm coming back next week, right?
Yeah, Yeah. So, boys and girls, see, she's spilling a little bit of tea because y'all know LaQuette is also a part of the Texas Cattlemen's Club, and she will be back at the cafe to talk about another book that she has that's releasing as well. So, yes, you'll see her back here at the cafe. So, LaQuette, please tell us, how can we or how can they get their hands on a copy of Vanessa Jarrett's Got a Man?
So you can find it at Amazon, you can find it Barnes and Nobles, you can find it in your local indie bookstores. Um, if you are looking for a specific, you can get it from St. Martin's Press directly if you choose to. So there are basically anywhere you can find books, you can get it.
Yes, yes. And LaQuette, please tell us, my friend, how can we stay connected with you?
It's very simple. Go to DOT, the word dot, then a period dot, cards, CARDS / LaQuette. And that will take you to all of my contacts. And I don't know if I can put it in the comments here. It doesn't look like I can comment, but what I will do is add it here, and hopefully that will.
Okay. And if not, I will go back and make sure I add it to the comment section too. So if it allow you to, if not, I'll make sure I add it in there as well. And I see, okay,
hopefully it comes up for everyone. Because it is, all of my stuff is there.
Yes, yes. Boys and girls, it has been amazing hanging out with author LaQuette on today, boys and girls, talking about her latest release. As I told you guys, Vanessa Jarrett's Got a Man. We thank all of you for hanging out with us. We know we had to change the time a little bit, but thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us on today. It has been so fun as well. Guys, I also want to tell you, thank you so much if you sent stars on this evening. I'm always so appreciative if you send stars. If you want to send stars, look down in the comment section. There's like a shooting star. Feel free to send stars there as well. Definitely follow LaQuette as well. And LaQuette, do you have a website and newsletter that they can sign up for too?
Is that on that link as well? My website is LaQuette.com. That's LaQuette.com. And it is, as soon as you go onto the site, newsletter sign up pops up. I will be sending out my next newsletter on around between the 15th and the 20th. So now is the time to sign up. I'm also going to be giving away another audio code in my newsletter coming up. So again, this is a great time to join up. Thank you, Shay. Yes, I am trying to write all the books. And thank you all for coming out and supporting. I greatly appreciate it. I always love to see my people. So thank you so much for the support that you give.
I love that. I love that. Well, guys, there you have it. That's our show on this evening, hanging out with LaQuette. LaQuette, you already know when I'm excited. You know I sing, so I had to sing that one. Okay, I had to sing that one. Okay. Guys, definitely make sure that you are following her. Definitely make sure when you finish reading this amazing story, boys and girls, leave a review. I know that LaQuette will be so appreciative of that as well. And LaQuette, before we leave, I want to allow you to have the last words of what you want to say to the people, my friend.
Oh man, like you all are just wonderful. I mean, you honestly have no idea how much we authors need your love. It's rough out here in these writing streets, you know, and especially for those of us who are writing about us, right? Writing about women of color, people of color, diverse people. And so to have, our tried and true folks out there supporting us. I just had the opportunity to see Midnight Ace in the summer, and it was just joy to be able to see her.
Look, the bestest. Just the bestest.
You're doing so much work for us out there. And I really just had to take the opportunity to thank her. Like, she's like, trying to fangirl over me, but I'm like, no, let me fangirl over you, because, the support that you all give us really, Sharon Blunt with the Brab family, like,
yes,
the support that we get from all of you, it romance novels in color, Mr. Wayne Adrian, romance novels in color on Instagram. Like
Yeah.
it's all of you out there that are doing the work, getting our stories talked about out there, sharing us with your book clubs. If y'all know any book clubs that want to hang out with your girl, please let me know. I would love to come hang out. Um, but the work that you all do, like, it really means something, and so I am very grateful. I'm very appreciative of anyone who picks up my book. I'm grateful that you enjoy it. I'm grateful that you share that information on Goodreads. I'm grateful that you come sit and listen to me chatter for a little bit. I'm just really grateful that you all are so interested in what I am trying to do with my writing. And I am so grateful.
Oh, thank you so much. And we are so appreciative. They are definitely showing you love in the comment section as well. So look, we all fangirl and we're having a great time as well. So LaQuette, again, thank you so much for hanging out with us here at the cafe. Thank all of you guys for hanging out with us here at the cafe and talking about Vanessa Jarrett's Got a Man. Guys, if you haven't done so already, make sure that you're following LaQuette. Make sure that you're reading her books, definitely on her website, and the other link that we'll put in the comment section as well, boys and girls. You'll be able to find books that from her backlist as well. That's our show for tonight, guys. It has been amazing. LaQuette, I just have to show you all these hearts that you are just getting, my friend.
Oh,
Oh
thank you
my
guys. Thank you,
goodness.
thank you,
Oh
thank
my
you. I
goodness.
really
I
appreciate
love it.
you.
I love it. I'm getting excited just seeing all the hearts and love they're giving you, my friend, as well. Thank you guys for showing Author
Thank
LaQuette
you,
love and
Caitlin.
for
I'm gonna
hanging
keep
out with
writing
us.
them then.
I love it. I love it. Well, guys, y'all already know what we're
Thank
gonna
you,
say.
Shay. I saw you looking cute in July, and I gotta, I'm getting ready for Raw, so your girl got to do it up.
I love it. I love it. Yes. So, guys, definitely make sure that you are following us. Again, you can follow me on YouTube, Angela Anderson's YouTube channel, or you can follow me here on Facebook as well as on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I try to do a little bit over there on TikTok as well. So feel free to follow me and stay in contact with us as well, guys. It has been an amazing, amazing evening. And of course, have an amazing night, because we're having an amazing night. And until next time, guys, we'll see you later. Bye. Look, they're still giving you love. I want to make sure you get all your flowers. So I'm trying to make sure I put them up so you can see them.
They're great.
I
They
love it.
really are. I mean every word I say when I talk about how they support us, because it's important. I mean, it really is important.
It is. Bye, guys. Good night.